Good evening, Professor. This is my final presentation. Um, before telling my problem statement, I would like you to know my context. So I work and live in el corregimiento de La Paz de Calamoima in Guaduas, Cundinamarca. It is a peasant community located in a rural area with difficult access. The economy of this place is based mainly in cattle farms and the production of panela. So my students' parents work mainly in these activities. Our school has less than 150 students, and I have more than 10 years of experience with peasant communities and with indigenous communities. So I have experience in small schools. And in small schools, there is just one English teacher from 6th to 11th grade, as in my case. So I teach for 6 years and more if the student lose the school year. And in elementary school, we have the unitary school model where they don't have an English teacher. So thanks to my experience, I can say that I perceive that in the upper grades, students lose interest, motivation, even they forget by way what they have learned because they think in English is not meaningful in their lives. And they don't interact in English as much as they should. So this takes me to the problem statement. To improve this situation is very important in my context because motivation is one of the main factors that affects the learning process. In the acquisition of a second language, it helps to succeed, strengthen a student's identity and culture, and to transcend. So it is very important to fix this problem. And this takes me to my problem statement. It is lack of motivation towards the acquisition of a second language of upper race students of La Paz School in Guadas, Cundinamarca, not only affects their learning, but their opportunities to conceive the world. Rather than thinking about English in a functional or interactional way, they view it merely as a means of obtaining a grade to pass the class. To solve Okay, I'm going to work with students of 9th and 10th grades in La Paz School. In total, there are 49 students, 25 in 9th grade and 24 in 10th. Most of them live in the villages surrounding the corregimiento. Their social strata goes between 0 and 2. But in some cases, we have students that are the children of the owners of very big cattle farms. So they study with us. And in one classroom, I have a girl who is now in Qatar, and a boy who goes to school to have lunch. So it varies, but it's a few. On vacations and at weekends, students used to help their parents with milking, siphoning, or in the production of panel. Most of my students don't study anymore after they graduate like their parents. Most of the parents just studied elementary school. Most people in the community think English is not relevant for their lives. To solve these situations, I have this research question. What is the methodology that improves motivation and learning regarding the acquisition of English in 9th and 10th grade students at IE de La Paz? To solve this question, I have these objectives. General objective, to identify the methodology that improves motivation and learning regarding the acquisition of English in 9th and 10th grade students at IE de La Paz. But you have mentioned that it can't be a general objective to identify. So I appreciate your comment here. And my specific objectives are to explore micro-learning regarding motivation and acquisition of English. I did these objectives and the next one because in the previous class you told us or I understood that we have to have at least one specific objective trying to fix the problem. Because of that, I would like to work with micro-learning and combine it with a CLT. So combine ICT with CLT. So my next specific objective is to determine the impact of communicative language teaching through microlearning in the motivation and acquisition of English as a second language on 9th and 10th grade students at La Paz School. And finally, to describe students' perception on the methodologies that I am going to propose. The mean to reach this objective is action research. It consists in the analysis of the reflection arising from problems we observe in our educational context to intervene and improve our teaching practices. This type of research requires planning, action, observation, and reflection as a cycle. So it allows me to change the methodologies that I propose, that I will implement. And I like it because I can make changes. What will give me the informed reflections about the implemented methodologies to achieve my objectives are going to be journals, recordings, surveys, interviews, and classroom documents. And that's all, Professor. Thanks for your attention, for listening, and for your feedback. Bye bye.